You ever walked out of a conversation feeling confused? Like somehow everything became your fault, even though you know deep down it wasn't? That's gaslighting, and it's one of the most subtle destructive forms of manipulation we can experience. It makes you question your memory, your perception, even your sanity. And the worst part, it often comes from the people you trust the most. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about how to recognize it, how to respond to it, and most importantly, how to rebuild your confidence when someone's been trying to rewrite your reality. Gaslighting starts small. A comment here, a denial there. You say, "That hurt my feelings," and they say, "You're too sensitive." You recall something that happened, and they say, "That never happened." You try to express yourself, and they twist it into something ugly. Little by little, it erodes your sense of truth, until you start doubting yourself. That's the goal of gaslighting. To make you question your reality so you become easier to control. Here's the truth. Confident people don't need to manipulate others. People who gaslight are afraid of accountability. They need control to feel powerful. And when you start to recognize that, their power begins to shrink. So how do you recognize it? First, listen to your confusion. Confusion is the first red flag. Healthy communication might be hard, but it's not confusing. If you leave a conversation feeling guilty for things you didn't do, or apologizing just to keep the peace, that's not love, that's control. Second, notice the pattern. Gaslighting isn't about one argument, it's about repetition. It's about constantly being told you're wrong, dramatic, crazy, or remembering things wrong. It's a steady drip of doubt designed to make you dependent on someone else's version of the truth. Third, pay attention to your emotional exhaustion. Gaslighting is emotional warfare. It leaves you drained because you're constantly defending your own mind. So what do you do when you start to see it? You don't fight with manipulation. You recognize it and remove its power. Because when someone's trying to gaslight you, they don't want resolution. They want control. So here's what you do. You stay calm. You stay clear. You don't play their game. If they say you're overreacting, you respond, "I'm allowed to feel this way." If they say you're imagining things, you respond, "That's not how I remember it." If they twist your words, you say, "That's not what I said." You don't have to convince them. You're not debating the truth, you're defending your peace. Now I know what you're thinking. That's easier said than done. Especially if the person gaslighting you is someone you love or someone you've known for years. But listen, setting boundaries doesn't mean you're cruel. It means you finally care about yourself the same way you've been caring about everyone else. When you stop explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you, that's power. When you stop chasing closure from people who benefit from your confusion, that's growth. And when you stop apologizing for existing, that's freedom. Let's talk about the emotional side. Because gaslighting doesn't just attack your words, it attacks your identity. It makes you second-guess your worth. That's why recovering from it isn't about revenge. It's about reconnection. Reconnection with your intuition. Reconnection with your voice. Reconnection with the truth that's been inside you all along. If you've been gaslighted, you might not trust your gut anymore. That's okay. Healing starts when you stop outsourcing your truth. When you pause before believing someone's version of you, and you check in with yourself first. Ask yourself, does this feel true? Do my values align with what's being said? Does this relationship make me feel small or safe? Your body knows when something's wrong. Your mind just needs time to catch up. Another powerful step. Documentation. Write things down. Keep notes. Not because you need to prove yourself to them, but because you need to prove to you that you're not losing your mind. When manipulation tries to rewrite your story, your words on paper become your evidence of truth. And when you finally see the pattern clearly, you can make a choice. Stay in the cycle or step out of it. Here's what stepping out looks like. Not dramatic, not explosive, just decisive. You stop giving energy to conversations that go nowhere. You stop explaining basic respect. You start saying things like, "That's not okay with me," and walking away when it's crossed again. Because the most powerful sentence you can say to a manipulator is, "I'm not playing this game anymore." They feed on reaction, they starve from calmness. When you no longer react, you remove their fuel. And let's talk about something deeper, forgiveness. Not for them, but for you. Forgiveness doesn't mean you excuse their behavior. It means you refuse to carry the poison they left in. It means you stop defining yourself by what they did and start defining yourself by how you rise. Healing from gaslighting isn't about forgetting, it's about remembering who you are before they made you doubt it. So if you've been made to feel like you're crazy, you're not. If you've been told your feelings are too much, they're not. And if you've been told that you're impossible to love, that's a lie designed to keep you quiet. You don't owe anyone access to your peace. You don't owe anyone your silence. And you don't owe anyone the version of you that makes them comfortable. You owe yourself the truth. You owe yourself peace. You owe yourself you. And when you start living that truth, you'll notice something incredible. Peace isn't quiet, it's powerful. It's not about avoiding confrontation. It's about standing so firm in who you are that no one's confusion can shake you again. Gaslighting loses its power the moment you stop fighting to be understood and start choosing to be free. Because here's the truth. Manipulative people don't change when you give them empathy. They change when you give them consequences. And the best consequence, distance, emotional, mental, physical, whatever it takes. You cannot heal in the same place that broke your trust. So stop waiting for their apology. Stop hoping they'll finally see your pain. They won't. And that's okay, because you've already seen it, and that's where healing begins. When someone tries to control your reality, remember this. You are not hard to love. You are not crazy. You are not broken. You are simply surrounded by someone too afraid of the truth. And your job isn't to fix them. It's to protect your peace, guard your clarity, and live a life where your truth doesn't need anyone else's permission to exist. So the next time someone tries to twist your words, remember, you don't have to defend your reality, you just have to live it boldly, calmly, and unapologetically. Final message. If you take one thing from this, let it be this truth. You can't control how people treat you, but you can always control whether you allow it to continue. And the day you choose peace over proving your point, that's the day you win.